Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and you guys, there's a tractor right outside my window, and I've tried 72 times to film this intro, but hello, hi, good morning, welcome to the day, what is going on? Now you guys, for today's foundation review, I am very excited, and I know what you're thinking, girl, you're always excited, which is true, but I'm even more excited today because we are playing around with a new foundation stick, which was recently released from Milk Makeup. This is on their website. I believe it's available on Sephora as well, but I purchased it from their website, and the real kicker here is that this already has 228 reviews, which give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I'm pretty impressed by that because I feel like foundation sticks are either really hit or really miss. Now, just a couple things that I want to note down in the description box in addition to the medium coverage natural finish. It says that this is infused with blue lotus to moisturize and chamomile to help calm redness and soothe your skin. And then it also goes down and talks about how it flexes and why it kind of moves with your face. And it says that this seamlessly becomes one with your skin without creasing or caking thanks to elastic marshmallow root extract, the ingredient that gives the candy its squishy abilities. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I read that, I was like, BS, honey, ain't no way. But then I got to thinking about marshmallows and how when you goop them in between your fingers, they actually do have like that real squishy situation going on. So now I'm even more excited to try it just because they said there's marshmallow in it. But it does also go on to talk about how it covers, yada yada, but it's basically a same reiteration of everything we've already talked about. Medium coverage, natural finish, swipe it on your face, you're good to go. Now, before I even attempt to put this on my face, I'm going to tell you guys something that happened this morning that has not happened in a long time. I could not find my Tatcha Silk Canvas. I know. I don't know where it went. You guys, it's always right here. Like, I leave it in the same little cubby. I'm thinking the borrowers come in and they just like snuck it out. Like they were needing some good smooth pores on their own face. And so they somehow wheeled my giant tub of Tatcha Silk Canvas right on out the room because I literally could not find it anywhere. But I thought, given that I couldn't find my Tatcha Silk Canvas, it would be highly appropriate to try this little guy with their foundation. This is also by Milk. This is their Hydro Grip Primer. And my full size one is scuttling somewhere around here. But this is a sample size that they sent me with this order. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that is what I used on this half of the face, and then on the other side I went in with the NYX Bare With Me Hydrating Jelly Primer. I picked this just because it does do a beautiful job at really soaking into your skin and giving it like a nice hydrated feel and balance, and I just really love the way that it sits on the skin. Now, I grabbed the shade Fair, which is right here on my hand. It actually looks like it'll be a pretty good match. From what I can see on their website, yeah, that's actually like my literal skin color. Holy cow. Now, the shade range for this foundation, I'm just going to start applying while I do this, and I'm going to grab my little JSC brush here. But the shade range for this, it was released in 36 shades, and from what I'm seeing on their website, it looks okay. It's not the best shade range I've ever seen. I feel like it has more medium skin tones and light than anything else. The deep skin tones, I just don't feel like the gradient is really developed on that side of things. Color though, wow, is like my literal face. That's insane. Okay. Now, in full transparency with you guys, me and foundation sticks don't always have the best go around with each other because I feel like a lot of times they end up sitting a little bit chalky and bunchy on my skin. I don't know if it's just me, but it's just the way that they always are. I agree with what they said as far as medium coverage goes, because I feel like it's giving me a little bit. I'm gonna see if it's buildable because obviously like everything is still peeking through. So because I'm going in with this by itself, I'll probably stick to a much more natural face of makeup just because I'm not mixing it, and like I said, I tend to have a difficult time with coverage when it comes to foundation sticks. But what I like about this so far on my skin is actually just the way that it's sitting down. It's giving me this really, really beautiful, natural, but like almost lightly luminous finish. And it's looking very, very healthy, which I like. It doesn't look thick or cakey at all. It's actually really, really pretty. Now, I am going to take my little sponge here and just kind of smooth everything out. I do find that whenever I'm applying foundation, as far as a foundation stick goes, I have much better results when I go in with a brush, which is why I pretty much applied everything with my JS1, and then I can go in and just smooth it in with this, because then this will just help kind of take out any of the patchiness or the inconsistency. Now I'm going to go in though with this little guy. This is my Tarte Shape Tape in Fair Neutral, but I don't want to apply too much because this foundation is on the lighter side of things. So I want to make sure to match the coverage under my eyes with the rest of my face. I'm also using this Tarte Shape Tape a little bit to grab some warmth and put it all over my face because I really do like the color that I chose as far as matching my skin with this foundation stick, but I feel like I can use just a touch more warmth. And the yellow undertone of this Tarte Shape Tape will do that, I think. All right. blended in. It actually looks really nice. The concealer and the foundation are working beautifully together, and I feel like that foundation stick is really settling into my skin and looking beautiful, especially over like my cheek regions. It's just very, very smooth. So far, the only thing that I'm noticing is I feel like this foundation stick though does not want to stay on my nose region. I'm gonna try applying just a little bit more. I just applied a little Tarte Shape Tape there, and so hopefully that'll give it more of a matte base to stick to. Okay, so that's doing all right now. Hopefully it gets a little bit better once I get some powder on there. Now to set this down, I'm going to use a little bit of my ABH powder in vanilla. And I'm going to start off here by setting the under eyes, because, you know, they just creasy little ladies and they gotta get set down first. They're like the rowdy little drunks at the party that you gotta make sure you get their car keys before you let them get drunk, because otherwise, girl, you ain't ever getting them car keys. And then we're gonna set the forehead. And then I'm gonna go ahead with my JH01 here and lightly set the rest of my face with this powder, just very, very lightly. Now we're just gonna go ahead and run through a couple steps real quick here. First up, of course, we have the BH Cosmetics Brilliance Bronzer. Now next up, I'm actually gonna dive into my Lunar Beauty palette here, and I want to take a little bit of Skyline and use that as a blush. I'm going in very light-handed because obviously these are eyeshadows, but when I saw this in yesterday's video, which I will link up there, I did a full eye look, you guys. It turned out so good. But when I did that video, I looked at this color and I was like, that would make the most beautiful light little girly pinky little blush, and it is so freaking cute. Oh my god, like this is a beautiful color. Next up here, just using my finishing powder per usual, blend all my products together. And all right, you guys, this is the finished look. This is how everything came together. I did go ahead off of camera. I just couldn't deal with this whole tractor noise situation, so I finished up the rest of my face. Hope you guys don't mind. It's just obviously a real quick day. And oh, by the way, that reminds me, I'm also testing out 2 of their new highlights, their Flex highlights. I grabbed them in 2 different shades. This is the shade Lit, which is the pinky tone right here that you can kind of see. And then I also grabbed the shade Iced, which is a nice kind of brighter yellow undertoned highlight. So again, both right there. They're both on my face. I kind of mixed them all over just to kind of test them out and see what they look like. And they are really, really beautiful. Again, just something random that I'm also, you know, throwing in here, but not kind of situation. They applied great. I do like the way that they almost immediately just like sunk down into my skin right here. They look so beautiful on the cheek, like texture wise, they are just like stunning. On the lips, before I get a ton of questions, girl, this little guy, NYX Butter Gloss in Praline. This is one of my favorite lip products of all time. My mom actually just pulled it out of an old jacket before she washed it, and I freaking love it so much. It's beautiful. That's all I have on my lips. No liner, no base color, nothing. It's just, these are so good, but Praline is just like life-changingly amazing. But now real quick, let's go ahead and throw in the up close so we can all kind of look at the same thing and look at how this foundation is wearing. Overall, I think it looks really, really nice. The pores up along like my cheek region by my nose, all of that looks really beautiful, and I feel like it's mixing very nicely with all of the other products on my skin. So far so good. I'm actually really happy with this for a stick foundation. This is one of the best initial applications I have ever had. So I'm gonna go ahead, go do my day. I just gotta get away from this track. You ever just like deal with one thing for so long that you're like, because that's where I'm at with this noise, and I just ask myself, like, when is it ever gonna stop? And then I remember, I live in Northern Michigan. It's never going to stop. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take my happy little self right out of the studio. I'm gonna go live my life, do my day, and obviously I will stop back on. I'll give you guys a wear test and all of that, let you know how it wore, after how long, so on and so forth. Y'all know the drill, so hang tight and I will be right back. All right, you guys, it is officially the end of the day, and your girl's been wearing this makeup for about 10 hours per usual, and I definitely am shocked at the results. Let's go ahead and not waste any time, throw them up for you guys here. Again, after 10 hours, I feel like this is looking pretty decent overall. I think it kind of settled in and did meld nicely with my skin. It does have a nice natural glow to it, which I'll touch on here in a second. As far as breakage goes, you can see a little breakage in the smile lines and around my mouth in general. I would say that's probably the worst part, maybe a little bit on my nose as well. But overall, you guys, as you can tell, I think up close it still looks pretty good, especially for 10 hours and for being a stick foundation. I'm super, super impressed. This is the best stick foundation for my skin that I have ever tried, and I don't take that lightly. I have tried several high-end, low-end, everything from Makeup Revolution to ColourPop to Lancome to the Hourglass one. I've tried so many, and this one for me really, really is a beautiful formula. There are several little things about it that I like, but also several things that I think would need to be corrected, not just for my skin and my preferences, but also because I'm normal to oily. So I'm just going to give you some cliff notes, things that I really like. I feel like it did a beautiful job settling and sinking into the skin. It didn't get super like emphasized when it comes to texture, anything like that. I did have, like I showed you guys up close and mentioned, the slight breakage around the mouth and settling into the smile lines. Given that it's been 10 hours, I'm not mad at that by any stretch of the imagination. So as far as the normal to oily aspect of my skin, this definitely made me real dewy by hour like 5, 6, and girl, by 8, I was your brunch frying pan that you're using for the bacon. Like, it was, whew, honey, I was oily. Again, am I mad at it? Not so much, because I actually feel like, given that I was normal to oily, it still looked really nice on the skin, which I know sounds crazy, but right through here, as I became more and more oily and this started to look more dewy, I never started to look super greasy around my nose, which is something I look for, like right on the little apples of my cheeks, and I really appreciate that about this foundation. Now, as all of you know at this point, one of the biggest things that I love to do for my foundation reviews at the very end is I tell you how I would change them, what I would do to make them better. And this isn't one, in my opinion, that needs a lot of smoothing. I feel like it's a very self-smoothing, self-leveling foundation throughout the day. I didn't notice a ton of texture or emphasizing over either cheek region. So I think as far as primers go, there's probably a lot of leeway in that aspect. But for me, would I mix this? Probably. I think I would want to mix this with something that had a little bit more coverage to it, but also had a little bit of a matte finish, and I think for that I would probably recommend my Catrice HD Liquid Full Coverage Drops, because a little goes a long way, so I'll still have that nice light feeling on the skin, which I got with this foundation, but I would have a little bit more coverage and I would have that nice little light matte feeling. I think this would be just really good for that. But overall, I'm not mad at this. I feel like it did give me a nice natural finish, a good, like, I'd say a medium-ish coverage, again, depending on how like red and hyperpigmented you are. I think that this definitely could have a place in your cabinet. For me, I would say that this is that foundation if you're wanting something that's kind of a light, daily, airy, like I want to go out and do errands, maybe I want to go to work. I don't want to look overly glam, but I want to look presentable. I want to look nice and even. For me, this would be that foundation. You guys, those are my thoughts. I hope that that's enough info for you. I hope that that is specific enough. I want to hear from you all down below per usual. Let me know, were you curious? What do you think about this? Is it something you'd want to check out? Are you in to the easy breezy, beautiful kind of stick foundation life? Or are you like, no thank you, honey, I'll stick with my liquids. What's the tea? What are your thoughts? Leave them down there. And of course, if you haven't done so yet, you can subscribe and turn on your post notifications to this here YouTube channel, because I do upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in good old Northern Michigan. But you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. You were right here. Just had you yesterday, honey. Come home to mama. Come home to mama. Where could you be? You literally never leave me. Now I'm excited to try it just because they said there's marshmallow in it, and I love marshmallows. Marshmallows. Oh, that fucking tractor. Oh, go away.